Hey everybody, I hope that decay kind of made sense for you. This time I kind of want to concentrate on pre-delay, which is another parameter found in most Reverb plugins. And in this specifically is going to be found right here. It's your pre-delay setting. What pre-delay is, it delays a signal going into the reverb processor. So what that means is you're going to hear the dry signal first, and then you're going to hear the reverb kick in a little bit after, depending on how long you set your pre-delay time to. So for example, if you set your pre-delay to 60 milliseconds, then you're going to hear the dry signal first, then 60 milliseconds later, you're going to hear the pre-delay, you're going to hear the reverb. So what does that mean for us in the real world? I can tell you one story. I visited the Candlestick Stadium before they tore it down, and that's where the 49ers used to play. And I got a chance to visit the locker rooms, and finally at the end of the tour, we got a chance to go on the stadium. And at the end of the tour guide told us all to scream, "Go Niners." And so I remember all of us screaming, "Go Niners," and I can hear the reflections of the "Go Niners" happen about 50 milliseconds later. So that'd be some kind of example of pre-delay time in a real-world example. Another example would be if you can imagine yourself in a very long, narrow hall. And when you say something, sound's going to reflect off those the walls in that narrow hall. Now imagine if you had a friend that was about 3 feet in front of you. If that friend was talking to you, you're going to hear a lot of the direct sound, the direct signal without any reflections. But you're also going to hear some of the reflections off the wall, and those reflections might happen a little bit later. Whereas if that person was very, very far away from you, then you're only going to really hear the reflections and not so much of the direct sound. And in that case, if that person is far away from you, you're not going to hear too much pre-delay. Whereas if they're 3 feet away from you, very close, you're going to hear a little bit more pre-delay. So that's one way you can kind of think about pre-delay in a real-world environment as well. In this music production project, one of the tricks that we do in music is we like to set the pre-delay based on the rhythm of the track. And that's just one technique. That's not how we do it all the time. But I'm going to go ahead and play around with this, and I'm going to find a millisecond pre-delay time that I like and that I feel sounds good for this specific project over here. So let's go ahead and try it. So I'm going to go ahead and solo the lead vocal in the reverb, and I'm going to go ahead and turn up the pre-delay time. I'm going to turn it up a little bit more than I usually would, just to kind of show you how it sounds and what it actually is.
For another, I'm ready to just let it go.
So this is a longer pre-delay time. It's set to 130 milliseconds, basically. And what you're hearing is a signal first, and then 130 milliseconds later, the reverb kicking in. So I'm going to go ahead and play the song in tandem with the rest of the instruments as well, and I'm going to find an area that I like.
For another, I'm ready to just let it go. I'm ready for another. I'm ready to just let it go.
I kind of like that. I'm going to stick with the 41 millisecond pre-delay time. I think it works well. Just a side note, when this person was not singing over here, there was a lot of buzz, and I'm going to go ahead and tackle that right now. I'm going to go ahead and take that off. So just remember to keep your audio tracks very clean, and the little fade in and fade out definitely helps to keep good continuity and smoothness in all your audio tracks. Let's see how that sounds here.
Another, I'm ready to just let it go.
Sounds good. I'm going to go ahead and turn up this pre-delay time quite a bit. One trick is, like I said earlier, is to kind of make it sound more of a delay than a reverb using the pre-delay. And let's just see how that would work. I'm just going to experiment and see how that would sound.
Ready to just let it go. I'm ready for another. I'm ready to just let it. Ready to just let it go. I'm ready for another. I'm ready to just let it go. Ready to just let it.
I think that works kind of fine. I kind of like that. So pre-delay is set to 164 milliseconds, which is kind of unrealistic in the real world, but in music production, you can kind of do whatever you want if you're not going for the realistic approach. And I think that sounded pretty cool. So I'm going to keep it there. And you notice that I churned down the send to the reverb because I felt like once I made the pre-delay at a higher time value, the reverb kind of stuck out a little bit more and started to kind of not blend in as much. So I kind of churned it down just to kind of blend it in more with the music production and the instrumentation and all that kind of stuff. So again, I hope that helps. You know, feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions. And take care of yourselves, and I'll see you soon. Peace.